Do you mean I was mortified? I thought, oh my God, this is it. I'm going to lose my kids. Because of the people telling me, you're not good enough. You haven't got the family support behind you, and they're going to take your kids whether you like it or not. Because you're on your own. You can't do it. And then I was initially worried, and I did start. At the beginning, I was very reluctant to listen because I had those dark voices in my head going, "Now I'm going to lose my kids." Everything my ex he would destroy everything, literally everything. I mean, I struggled. I was on really low income, and yeah, my son his attendance was like 63%. It was terrible. He was late all the time. Didn't know that he didn't enjoy school because he loved school. It was just he was in that habit of, oh, I get to pick and choose when I get to go in, because there was a lack of encouragement to make him want to go, and it was a lot of struggle with him then. Do you know what I mean? Because of the lack of routine, discipline, and do you mean everything was chaos in his life? At that time, I'll be honest, I think I was quite a selfish person, so it was all me, not reality that it was my kids that actually mattered, because all I wanted to do was escape. I wanted to escape the life I was in. I didn't want to be there. Do you mean? And like I was watching my kids suffering, I was always thinking, my kids deserve better. They deserve more than me. They deserve more people than me. And I was always thinking, you know, I can't give them what they want, the love of a family. And at that time, so it was me. And then when Tina came along, she sat down, she asked me, what do you really want, child? What are the outcomes you want for yourself? And it actually made me realise I didn't want my kids being in the situation they were in. I didn't want to be in the situation I was in myself, because I was looking at my kids and I could see my childhood in them, where they were isolated, they were insecure. Do you mean, okay, they weren't beaten kids, but still they were mentally beaten, and they couldn't speak out. And I was that scared, intimidated little girl where I couldn't speak as a kid. And I was starting to see that in my kids, and that realisation was I didn't want my kids being mentally destroyed. They do need a full day in school, obviously, and a full week, but they still need that time with the one-to-one with the parents, and that is what the school done for me. They opened the door for me to be able to do that one-to-one service with my son, so I could understand him, see him in the eyes of a child, see him through his own eyes then, basically, because they taught me how, you know, like in the one-to-one sessions, learn how to speak, for example, how to speak to my son and get him to open up bit by bit. Now, schools should be able to do that. Do you know what I mean? They, quite frank, acknowledged there is, you know, children not only do need to work with their peers in school, but they need to work with their parents too. Basically, what I think, right, if all this, you know, everybody that's in a conference meeting, for example, if they're all willing to listen to each other and, you know, listen to the parents, then basically they can all understand the type of distress the parents are in, because you all understood me, you all seen it, you know, so because you took the time out to listen and look. Anybody can bark orders at you, and you know, you can be a robot all your life and, you know, go along with what people tell you, but it doesn't you know, fill that darkness and that emptiness inside you until somebody asks you, what do you want for your future, your kids' future? Then, you know, you step out to that stage of being a robot. You become a person. Do you mean you are acknowledged as a human, not a robot being told what to do, get on with your life. You've got to do this to get through that. It's not like that. When you're acknowledged as a person, then things become a little bit brighter, because you think, oh, I'm not some invisible shadow that's just, you know, told to follow along. I'm not a doormat that people just wipe their feet. I'm a human being. I've got a voice. I've got an opinion, and somebody is interested in my opinion. Do you mean? And that literally does brighten somebody's day. Everything, absolutely everything. They eat, the way they eat is different. Like my son wouldn't eat. He wouldn't eat a banana. He wouldn't eat any fruit. He wouldn't eat any vegetables. He eats every vegetable that's put in front of him now. He used to have night terrors to the point where it'd be 45 minutes, he's running around the house screaming, crying in his sleep. Do you mean he's fit, he's shaking, fitting, you know, he'd be wetting himself, just walking around the house wetting him. You haven't done that in over a year, well over a year. Do you mean I forgot what it was like to see that, you know, to see my son in absolute fear. to think back about it the way it used to be scares me now. Do you know what I mean? Because it's just like, but when I look a year and a half down the line, I'm like, he don't do that anymore. He's polite. He's got the best manners in the world. He's so kind and caring when it comes to his sister. No, my daughter, she's very quirky. She's got character. She's got charisma.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And no, they're both very polite children. They're both eager beavers to learn anything. Do you mean they're not scared? They are very confident kids now. Do you mean? And I couldn't have done that on my own. I really couldn't have.